we don't have questions on file handling. I told you, right? So we'll just have the questions on basics of Python. So it will be like just the basic for loops, variables, right? If conditions. There will be this basic list and all this dictionaries will be there. Okay.
Okay.
Those are the inbuilt libraries in Python. Okay. Inbuilt data types in Python. Okay. Along with the other data types, which you know, right? The integer, float, right? Boolean and all. Okay. This will be the other one. So if you just know this, you'll be able to answer all of the questions. Okay. There won't be file handling. Okay. All right. And there won't be this object-oriented programming also. Okay.
Is this a binary search in syllabus or not?
Oh, binary search, no. We won't be asking you of this algorithms and all. Okay.
Okay. And another question, I have another question. Is this what is the difficulty level of a question? Like I told BS foundation course assignment question, same as a same difficulty level or different level?
Have you looked at the Python content? Python assignment questions?
Yes,
Practice
clear. Yes,
Okay. Okay, so like if you have looked at the graded assignment, right? Graded assignment of like any weeks, it will be of same difficulty level. Okay. But for you, the relevant weeks will be until week 6. Okay. Until week 6.
Yeah.
After that, week 6 will be sufficient for you. Okay. Until week 6. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll start sharing my screen. Okay, so this is the item code link. Okay, I will share it in the chat box. Okay, you open that link. Okay, you'll be able to you'll be able to start answering. Okay, so the first question is we're starting with this. we have so many here. Okay, we have so many data types and all. We'll go about it like one by one. Okay. I won't discuss the question, but I will discuss what was there in the question. All right. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do we have here? The first one is we have this first row equal to something in the quotations, right? Right. So what does that mean? Is that is a string. Okay, that is a string. Okay, the string is a collection of characters. Collection of different characters here. Q W E R T Y U I O P. Okay, all those are characters. Okay, string is one of the data types. Okay, so this string you would have seen in other programming language also. Okay, this is not something very new to Python. Okay, the strings and all the string operations and we do so many things using strings. So the first row, second row, third row, they are all strings. Okay, they are all strings. Basically, they are the collection of characters. Okay, so I will talk about this next word equals to input. What does this input says is it takes an input from the user. It takes an input from the user in the console input, correct? So it takes input from the user, and that input will be by default taken as a string. Okay, by default it will be taken as a string. Even if you enter 10 or like let's say 200, right? Even though you have entered an integer, that will be taken as a string. Okay, if you want to convert that to an integer, you need to like specifically mention int of input. Hey, am I going too fast? Like, do you want me to write the code and explain, or what is it?
No, it's okay, sir.
It's okay. Everyone, is it okay?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, okay. So this for char and what, right? This one, okay, until now you would have understood this part it is specific to Python. It is specific to Python. Okay, like I mean the syntax of it is like specific to Python. Like what does this means is we'll be looping, this is for loop, right? For loop you would be like aware of it, but the syntax part I'll explain, okay? For char in word, so basically it means for character in word, okay? So this word, right, word equals input, which is basically the user input, right? The user input string, okay? That user input, whatever user has given, it will have different characters, right? It would have, let's say, like n characters, right? So for character in word, so basically it will loop through the each character, okay? It will loop through each character. Let's say I have entered the input as Python. Okay, I have entered the input as Python. What will be the characters of it? P by THON, right? So for char in what? So basically initially char will be equals to P, right? And then it will enter the loop. It will enter the loop. It will do all these operations. We'll talk about these operations. We'll talk about the statements. Okay. And afterwards, once it has done all this, it will come back again, and then it will change the char to Y. After that, Y will change to T, H, O, N. Okay. Until the end of the string, it will continue. Okay. Is the for loop clear? Like at least the for char and word, is it clear? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So until now what we have seen, we looked at strings. We took an input from an user. We took the input from the user, and then what we have done is we are looping through the characters in the word, characters in that particular string. Okay. So if character in first row, so what does that say? It is just it is kind of like the basic English one, right? If character in word, so basically if that particular letter, if that particular character is in the first row, like if it is in the first string, this first row string, then it will execute this. Then it will execute this. Like basically, let's say the first letter is, let's say I entered the word Python, okay? P, right? P, right? So since char will be equals to P, if P in first row, so basically P should be there in this query of P, right? And if you see here, P is there at the end. P character is there at the end. So basically this is true. This is true. So this particular statement will be executed. Okay. And this print is nothing but the normal way of printing it to the console. Okay. We use this to print it to the console. Okay. The first row, this is a string. We are printing the string, comma the first row dot index of char. Index means it gives the index of that particular character in the string. Like let's say we have this QWERTY, right? We have this QWERTY, right? The index for Q will be 0, for W it will be 1, for E it will be 2, for R it will be 3, and so on. It will calculate the index of this particular character in the first row. Okay, is this clear? Hello.
Yes, sir.
If it is not clear at any point of time, you can stop me, and then you can ask me to explain. Okay, like I will execute the code in code, and then I'll explain each and every part of it. Okay. Yeah. So basically, if that particular character is there in this first row string, then it will print this particular statement. So basically, what we are printing? We are printing first row and the index of that particular character in the first row. Okay. Similarly, we'll do the same thing for the others. Elif means if this particular if statement is not executed, like then it will check for elif. Okay. After that, it will go for other elif. Okay. Like if the first two statements are not true, then it will go to the third one. Okay. It is just like that else if condition. Okay. Elif is nothing but the else if in the other programming languages. Okay. Clear?
Sir, by index, it means the position of the character.
Yeah. The position of the character in the string. Okay. And we have this zero based indexing. That part is clear, right? That part should be clear, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, why we are not using else statement in the
Else if
third else statement for third row?
else here.
Yes.
See, the thing is, whatever you'll understand it. Okay, you'll understand. I'll explain that once you solve the problem. Okay, is that okay?
Okay.
I'll explain that once you solve the problem.
Okay.
Okay. So I hope this part is clear now. Can you what is the output of this code for the following input brisk? Can you solve this? Yes. Sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So I'll give you like 5 minutes to solve this problem. This should be easier. But since this is your first problem, you take your time. Okay, take your time, and then like you solve it. Once you solve the problem, please raise your hand. Sorry, wait. I'll begin accepting answers. Okay. Yeah. Now if you have gone through that particular link, right, you'll be able to see the question. You'll be
Yes,
able to
sir.
see the question, and
Yes,
then
sir.
you'll be able to answer it. Like you'll be able to select the option. Okay. So like this particular case, right? I have this A, B, C, D options, and then I can select like anything. Okay, I can select A, B, or whichever one you got it as answer. You select it and then you submit it. Okay. I've seen 11 people selecting the same option. So I think looks like you all are aware of Python, right? So for those of you who are not completely aware of Python, it is still good, right? You're still able to follow, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, can we take a different question paper because this questions like this set of questions, I think so they have given us it has been sent to us on the like the portal itself. It is there the question paper.
Okay. They already have this question paper. So you all have solved this question paper. But still, what we'll do is like we'll still go over these questions. We'll still go over these questions because we are not just talking about like the questions of it, right? We're talking about the concept behind it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So can we have few more questions other than this for practice?
You want to have a few more questions for practice?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we will share it once we're done with this session. We'll share. Okay. Whatever questions you have seen in that PDF, right, in the portal, we'll be discussing those questions in this session. But after the session, we'll be sharing you the extra questions for practice.
So exam will be of this pattern only.
Yeah, so exam will be of this pattern only. So you'll be having this MCQ, NAT, the normal questions, right? How you see it? It will be
Sir,
that
how
only.
many questions will be there, sir, in totally for Python?
So it will be from 10 to 15. Okay, 10 to
Okay,
15 questions might be there. Okay. Okay. So among the 70 students, nearly 35 have answered. Others, please do not post your answers in the chat box. Okay, let others answer.
Sir, a small suggestion if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, please explain the program because everyone has the answers. So they
Yeah,
will be
yeah.
giving the correct answers.
Once we're done with this problem, right? Once everyone is done solving it, we'll explain the problem. I'll explain the problem. Okay, we look at the solution. Okay, yeah, the correct answer is B, and why it is B, we look at it. Okay. First thing, okay. First row it has this QWERTY OP. For QWERTY OP, those are the characters which it has. The second row string it has AS, DF, GH, IJKL, and the third row it has this ZX and all, right? The remaining. Okay, what is the output of the code for the following input brisk? Okay, so let us look at it. So word equals to input. So basically this word equals to brisk. For character in word, so basically initially as I told, to loop over the each character in the word, right? So this word has 5 characters, B, R, I, S, K. So initially char will be equals to B. If char in first row, is B there in the first row? It is not there in the first row, right? Okay, it is not there in the first row. So this if statement, it won't get executed. Let's look at the second one. Second row also does not contain B. Okay, the third row contains B. The third row contains B, ZX, CV, BNM. It has B here. Okay, it has B here. So it does contains B. So since it contains B, that is the statement is true. It will execute this print third row comma this third row dot index of char, right? Okay.
Yes.
So third row dot what will be the index of char? Char is equal to B here. So what will be the index of B here? So it will be 0,
Fifth
1,
position, 0, 1,
2,
2, 4.
3, 4. Okay. So it will be 4. So we look at the first one. So it should be third row 4. B could be the correct option. Yeah, and we don't have any other like by looking at the first character itself, we got the correct answer. Okay, but we'll still look at the other characters. Okay, the next character is R. For R, what do we have? R is there in the first row itself. Okay, right? First row and the index of it is 3.
3.
Okay, so it should print first row 3. That is all right. I is also there in the first row, so the index of it is
7.
yeah, that is 7. Okay, the index of I is 7, and then for S for S it is there in the second row and the index of it is 1, and the later part is K is there in the second row and the index of it is also 7. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yes.
Any doubts in this particular problem? Okay, there are small things which you need to consider here. Okay, the first thing is when we are printing this print of first row comma first row dot index of char, right? First row dot index of char, it gives an integer. Basically it gives an index, right? The index can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and so on. So that is an integer data type. Okay, and this is a string. And then we are giving comma here. How is it able to print? How this Python will print? Okay, so the way it does is treats the first row as a variable, and this integer also as a variable, right? We can print n number of variables separated by specifying the comma there. Okay, by default between the variables it will give a space, so that is why you are getting a space here. After third row you are getting a space 4, first row space 4, space 3 single space, first row space 7, second row space 1, second row space 7. Okay. So that is how you are getting it. Okay. That's the first thing. Okay. And by default after the print statement is executed, it will end with a slash n. So basically whatever next you are printing, it will go to the next line. And that is the reason after third row 4, right? The next one, the first row 3, it is printed, like it will get printed in the second line. Similarly, the next print statement, it will get printed in the third line, fourth line, and so on. Okay. This part yeah. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. For you to answer, you need to go to this item pool. You need to go to item pool and then answer. Okay. So if you have looked at it until now we have covered the integers, we have covered the for loop, not the extensively, but we have covered some part of for loop. Okay. And then we have covered integers. Okay, we have covered this if and elif also. Okay. But then we look at the still other examples of it. Okay. This should be a good problem. Are you able to see this problem? Second problem? Okay, the second problem, we are just looking at if here, right? What is the output of the above code snippet if all of A, B, C are true? So basically, if of something, whenever we mentioned if of something, right? So basically, if that is true, that particular like what is it, the statements within that if block or elif block that get executed, right? So here A is basically the boolean value. Okay, you could even pass this integers, float values, or the strings also. Okay, even the list you could pass, but generally passing the boolean values. If it is true, that will get executed. If it is not true, then that won't get executed. Okay, here they have mentioned that the value of ABC all are true. Okay, and the value of A comma B comma C equals 0 comma 0 comma 0. What this basically means is A value will be equal to 0, B value will be equal to 0, C value will also be equal to 0. Okay, clear? And since this is since others, please don't share your answers in the chat box, please.
Sir, here
This
why
is the-
ABC is 0?
What?
Why we have given ABC 0?
We just initialize, right? We need to initialize this ABC variables to some value, so we just initialize to 0.
Is
Okay.
it necessary to initialize A is equal 0 or can we give a variable?
Right. See, the thing is, unlike other programming languages, whenever you are using a variable, you need to assign some value to it. Okay. In Python. Okay. So
Okay.
that is why they just initialize this value ABC to some value 0 comma 0 comma 0. Okay. It could be even 1 comma 1 comma 1 or like whichever value it is. But the important part is we should initialize whenever we are defining a variable, we should initialize it to some value.
Okay. Afterwards,
Okay.
it will be replaced.
Yeah. After that, you could do the modifications to it. Okay. And actually, you could even change the type of the variable. Like in this particular case, A is an integer, right? You could even change the type of A to string also. Okay.
Okay. Now, okay. For example, A is equal to high, B is equal to something, and integer float.
Yeah. Initially, you could have A equals to high, and later you could have A equals to 10 also. Okay. Python won't throw an error.
Okay.
Okay. Those of you who are sharing your answers in the chat box, right? Like if you keep on doing this, I will be removing you from the session itself. Okay. So let us look at the answers. Okay. Okay, let us look at, shall we look at the answers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Before you look at the answers, right? So like I'll solve it, and after that we look at the answer. Okay. I will reveal the answers. Okay. So initially a comma b comma c equals to 0 comma 0 comma 0, right? If a. So basically if a is true, then this particular entire block, right? Entire block will get executed. Okay. They have mentioned a as true, so this entire code will get executed. Okay. If a is not true, it will directly come to this print statement. Okay. If a is not true. Okay. Since a is true here, we'll go to this this is inside this if block.
Sir, one doubt.
Yeah.
Is there any difference between capital and small a here?
Yeah, there is a difference. There is a difference. So basically, both the variables are different actually. Okay.
Okay.
The variables are case sensitive.
Okay.
In this question, capital A is storing the value of small a, the new value of small a. That is
Can
0
you
plus
repeat?
1.
Capital A.
Variable variable capital A is storing the value of new variable small a, that is a plus 1.
No, it is not doing that. So, okay.
Is
The
a case.
value of capital A is just true. Okay. The value of capital A is true. All we are doing is if that particular if A is true, we are doing this operation. It is not
Okay.
storing or anything. Okay.
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 Yes.
Right.
Right.
A value is true. All we are checking is if A is true, execute this particular statements. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
A is a Boolean value. You know what is a Boolean, right?
Okay.
Boolean
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
It could be either
Got
true or false.
False.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, since A is true, what we'll do is we'll execute these operations. Okay. We'll have A plus equals to 1. So initially A equals 0, right? A plus equals 1. So basically A will become 1. Okay. If B then B is also true. So basically this also will get executed. Okay. If B A plus equals to 1, so initially A equals to 0, it got updated to 1 here, and now it will get updated to 2. Okay, because we are incrementing 1 again. B we need to increment by 1. Before this statement, B value is 0, so now it will get incremented to 1. Okay, until now we have A equals to 2, B equals to 1. Okay, if C, since C is also true, this will get executed. So what will basically happen is A plus equals to 1, and A will become 3 now. B will become 1 plus 1, 2, and C will become 0 plus 1, 1. Okay. So basically A is equals to 3, B is equals to 2, and C equals to 1. A plus B plus C will be equals to 6. Okay. All right. So let me just
I have
yeah.
query, sir, here. Sir,
Yeah.
if suppose B is false, will it come to C or will it directly go to print?
It will directly go to print. So basically, if A is true and B is false, right? So it will execute this statement. It will execute A plus equals to 1, and it won't execute this under one. Okay. It will directly come to A plus B plus C. It will print as A is equals to 1, right? B equals 0, C equals 0. It will print 1. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you.
Okay. So if you observe here, I forgot to mention that here in the previous, right? The way you know whether these particular statements belong to the if block, for block, per block, or let's say in the future cases the functions also is by indentation. Okay, by indentation. If you see here all these entire statements, right? It is indented. It is indented. Okay, with respect to if block. Okay, So basically what this means is all these statements belongs to the if block. Okay. And if you look at it here, after if b, all these statements are indented. Okay. So basically the highlighted ones which are highlighted now, all those belong to if b condition. Okay. And similarly for if c. Okay. This a plus equals to 1, b plus equals to 1, c plus equals to 1. They all belong to this particular if c condition. Okay. All right. Is it clear what I was talking about? The indentation.
Yes, sir.
This print is like outside of this outside of any of this. Okay. So basically this print does not come under this block. All right. Previously, if you look at this, look at the previous question. So if you see here, if you see for Karen word, there is an indentation here. All these lines there was an indentation. So basically what that means is all these statements they belong to this for loop. Okay. Similarly after this if there was an indentation. Okay. So basically this print statement belongs to this if condition. Okay. Clear?
Should the indentation be in terms of 2 space, 4 space, or tab, or anything?
A tab space. Okay. You have a tab, right? TAB tab, right? In the computer. Okay, that should be equal to approximately 3 spaces, I guess. Okay, but I myself am not like entirely sure, because when you code in Python, by default when you have this colon, right? When we have this colon and then when you hit enter, it will give the space directly. Okay, you need not worry about it. Okay, clear what I was talking about? Yeah, there is a tab space will be there. Okay, so this is okay. I will discuss it right now. We'll move on to the next question.
You wish to find a number.
Yeah, this one. So basically, is the following statement true or false? The statement A is greater than equals to B is greater than equals to C will always evaluate to true. This is independent of the values of A, B, C. Is this true or not? Okay. I'll begin accepting answers. Please do not post your answer in the chat box. Okay. The statement A is greater than equals to B is greater than equals to C, will that hold true or not? Okay. Is that true or not? Irrespective of what the values of A, B, C are. Okay, this is a simple question. I hope you can answer it. So shall you look at the answer?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
The answer is true. It's not false. It's not false. I'll explain you why. Okay. If you look at it, whenever B is okay, we'll come back from the bottom. Whenever C is getting updated, A and B both are getting updated, right? Irrespective of what the value of C is. Okay, irrespective of what the, so like basically if C is getting executed, right? If C is true, whenever the C is like small c is getting incremented, A and B are also getting incremented. Okay. So and if you look at it here, B here, whenever B is getting incremented, A will get incremented. Okay. And here A is again getting incremented, like while B and C are not getting incremented. Okay. So basically whenever C is getting incremented, B will definitely get incremented, A will definitely get incremented, and whenever B is getting incremented, A is getting incremented by the same value. Okay. So basically A will always be like, and we have initialized A, B, C to 0, 0, 0, right? So basically A will always be greater than or equals to B is greater than or equals to C. Okay. Clear? Like it is a simple one, but if you do not if you have like any questions, you can ask. Okay. The answer is true, it's not false. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So for those of you who are new and you want to answer the questions in the item pool, you can log. Okay, you can open that link. Okay, and then you can start answering the questions. Okay. Okay. Move on to the next problem. We need to find the number of occurrences of a digit 1 in the string word. Okay, like the digit 1 in the string word. So basically, we need to find the number of occurrences of character 1 in the word. Okay, in the string word, and store it in a variable called count. So basically, we need to how many of a number of occurrences we have, that many, like the count value should be equal to that value. Okay. Select the correct code snippets that achieve this. Okay. Is this clear? Is the question clear first of all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So like one small thing here, like just a caution, right? Whenever we do this for char and word, right? This char also will be a string. Char also will be a string, but it has only one character. Okay.
So one is string here, sir.
Yeah, one character string. Okay. The type of char also will be a string. Okay. It won't be an integer. Okay. Yeah. Based on this, you'll be able to answer it. You need to select the correct snippets of code that achieve this. Okay. We need to count the number of occurrences of digit 1 in the word, in the string word. Okay. I told you how to loop through the characters in the word by, like, if you look at the first question, you can see it. Okay, we did the same thing for char and word. Okay.
Sir, can we see more options?
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So you'll be able to access this. You'll be able to access this options here. If you go to the live, right, you need not see my screen here. You can just look at your screen. That is, you'll be able to access that web page. You go to this link. I'll paste it in the chat box again. Okay. So if you click on this link, you'll be able to see the question as well as the options, everything. Okay. This is an MSQ question, so basically more than one option could be correct. All right. Okay. So shall we look at the solution?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So let me just look at the options and I'll tell you which one is correct. Okay. Yeah, the B and C are correct. Most of you selected right. Yeah, which is great. Okay. And I have told you, right, if the char itself is a string. Okay. If char equals to 1, so basically char is a string and 1 is an integer. 1 is an integer. They both won't be equal. They both are not equal. Okay. That's why this particular statement it won't get executed. Count plus equals to 1, it won't get executed. Okay. What you need to do is either you need to convert this char to an integer, or what you should do is you should have this one as string. Okay. The later one is better. I'll tell you why. If char equals to 1, count plus equals to 1, this one is a string, and char is also a string. And whenever we have char equals to 1, this count will get incremented because that is what we want, right? You need to count the number of occurrence of digit 1. Okay. So option B is correct. Option B is correct. And option C is basically the same. Option C is like, it is kind of like converting the integer to string. Okay. str basically means a string. Okay. str like it is just a like way of representing it in Python. Okay. So when you do this str of 1, that will get converted to this string. Okay. Even for this, you could do this int of this. If you do int of this this one, right, within the quotes, then that will get converted to integer. Okay. All right.
Sir, what will be the output, sir? Here, if we print count, will it be 0?
Which one?
Sir, if we print count, then
Yeah.
what will be the output
For which condition?
for this, sir? For this code, if we run this code, then what will be the output?
We are not printing anything, right? We are not printing anything. So basically it won't output anything. But if you print count, then basically that count will represent the number of occurrence of digit 1. Okay. We are not printing anything here. If you see here, we did not print anything here.
But
All we did is we have updated count.
but if we
Yeah.
but if we
If you
print
put-
here, sir, if we print here, what will be the output? If we print count,
It will depend upon the word, right? We did not even mention the word also. Right? It will depend upon the word. Okay.
okay, okay.
So why D is wrong?
Why?
Sir, could you again repeat why B and C is correct, sir? I'm not able to understand, please.
Why D is wrong? Huh?
Yes.
No, why B and C is correct? Can you repeat again?
Okay. Okay. Initially count equals 0 because we initially started the assumption that there are no characters of 1, right, in the word. Okay. For char word, so basically for each character in word we will be looping it. If that particular character is equals to 1, then we should increment the count, right? So by the end of this for loop, the count will represent the number of occurrence of digit 1. Okay. That is why B is correct. Similarly, C is also the same thing. Except for here one representing within the quotes, we mentioned it str of 1. Okay. So here this one is an integer. We are converting that integer to string. Okay. So that is why B and C are correct. The reason why D is wrong is we have initialized count to 1 initially. The count should be initialized to 0. Okay. So basically,
Thank you, sir. Why A is wrong, sir?
okay, why A is wrong? Char is a string. Char is a string, and 1 is an integer.
Okay.
Okay.
Wrong match is done between a string and integer. That's why it's wrong. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Would option A throw an error?
Option A, it won't throw an error. Yeah, I think it might. Check. it will throw this comparison error. Okay. Yes. The no, it won't throw an error. It won't throw an error, but basically, but still the output will be wrong. Okay. It won't throw an error, but the output will be wrong. All right.
For D also, no error.
What?
D.
For D also there
Option.
won't be an error. For D anyway there is no
Count will be 2.
there's no chance of like getting an error. The only thing is our answer will be wrong.
Okay.
Like let's say the count of digits one is 5. Like the count which you will print is it will be equal 6. It will be like one greater than the actual value. Okay. Okay. Look at this. Okay. Order will output a following snippet of code. Word equals to this these not so hard after all. Okay. This is not so hard after all. This is a string. Okay. Count equals 0. You have initialized some variable count to 0. For char in word, if a is less than or equals to char is less than or equals to. So basically, we are just checking whether that char is a capital letter or not. Okay. And if char in AEIOU. Okay, this part, this I'll explain. This is a list. Okay, this is a list. This is a list. Like the collection of elements within a square bracket, that is a list in Python. Okay, that is a list in Python. There are some operations which you can do in Python, like which I won't be explaining entirely now. But if the question asks, then I'll explain. But look at the basic operations, like how to add an element and how to remove an element, how to iterate through through an element in the list, or that you can see. Okay. And the other important thing is, if you look at it, the list, right? It has 5 elements here. A is one element. E is the other element. I, O, U. Okay. So basically, if char in means, so basically it will check whether that character is an element of this list or not. Okay. If the element is an like, sorry, if char is an element of the list, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Okay. Is this clear? Okay, yeah,
Yes.
I think this will be good enough for you to answer this question. Okay. Okay, so we look at the answers what are given. Yeah, most of you got it correct. So basically, this part is like clear, right? So it will check whether that character it falls within this range of capital A to capital Z. So basically, it is checking whether that character is a capital letter or not. Okay, if it is a capital letter, and then it will return true, and if the character is in AEIOU. So basically, if that character is in vowel AEIOU, those are vowels, right? So if that character is in vowel, then it will return true. Okay. Only when both of these are true, then this count will get incremented, because we are using AND here. Okay, we are using AND here. Okay. So if it is an OR, then if either of it is true, then this will get incremented. Okay. All right. So in our particular case, the vowels which we had is we have I is there, O is there, A is there, and then E is there. Yeah, that's it. So I, O, A, E. Right? Those are the capital letters as well as vowels. Okay, that is why the answer is 4. Okay. One person has entered E.
Sir, one small clarification, sir. In the if statement,
Yeah.
if capital A is less than equal to character means it has to first look for capital A in the whole sentence, right, sir? That's what it means, right?
No, see, basically each time capital A is a string, right? Capital A is a string. Capital A is a string. What will check is this char value will be changing, no? Char value initially it will be T, H, I, S, and so on. Like there will be space also in between. Space I, S, space NOT and so on, right? This char value will change. But A is a constant, right? A is a constant, that is a string. That is a string. So basically to check whether this char value which is varying like basically it will take all the characters of this word like one by one in the loop, and then it will check whether this whether that character it is falling within this value. Like if A is less than or equals to char is less than Z, then it will be true, right? Okay. Did that answer your question?
Sir, this if statement basically ensures the given character is a capital letter and it is within A and Z, right, sir?
Yeah, and it should be over. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, it is not checking A. I thought it is straight away checking this capital A.
It is not checking. It is not checking it. So we are not concerned with the value of A. So basically this first statement, right? This first expression we are just checking whether that character, if it falls, if it is like less than or equals to, like no, not less than or equals to, if it is greater than or equals to A but less than Z, whether that condition holds true or not, we are checking. Okay.
Python knows A to Z.
Yeah.
Python knows all the alphabets, sir.
Python knows.
No, Python has a library which knows all the letters.
This is just this ASCII values.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah. So here.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Sir, in the previous question, this is not so hard after all. Like, if there were so like SOO, all in caps, so what would have been the counting been? Like, it would have been
We
4
had like
or
SOO.
like here, this is is not. Here is SO. In case
Yeah.
of for SO, if this had been SOO. Okay.
Then count will be 5.
5. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So until now the for loop which we have looked at is for I in like for character in word, right? For character in word, this is a different way. This is a different way of like looping it. This is kind of like the general way which you would have known in like C++, C and other languages, right? So basically we will start with the value. We'll start with the value and then we'll increment, right? We'll increment one by one. That is the same way. That is the same thing which you are doing for I in range of 1 to n plus 1. So basically what it does is I will take the value of 1 initially and it will increment by 1 until it reaches n plus 1. Okay. I value won't be equal to n plus 1. Before n plus 1 only it will stop. Okay. So basically in this particular scenario, I will take the values of 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on n. Okay. And so on n. Once like it won't go to n plus 1. Okay. The last value won't be considered in the for loop. Okay, is this clear? For I in range of 1 to n plus 1. Basically here also we are doing the for loop. Here also we are doing the for loop. We have variable I. The variable I, it takes a value of 1 initially and its value will get incremented by 1 like each time. It will loop until the value of I equals to n. Okay, the I value won't be equals to n plus 1 at all. Okay, that is the last value n plus 1, it won't be considered. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay. I think if that
Can
is
you
clear,
repeat it
then
once, please?
yeah, okay. So basically, let's just say I would like for I in range of 1 to 5. Okay, 1 to 5. If I mention for I in range of 1 to 5, so basically what happens is I will take the value of 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. It won't go to the value of 5. Okay, the last value won't be considered. Okay, is that clear?
No, sorry, I'm having a little confusion. When you say n is equal to 5, n plus 1 is equal to 6, isn't it?
Oh, no. When I meant like for I in range of 1 to 5, that means that n plus 1 equals to 5.
N is
N
equal to
plus
4.
1
Yeah.
equals to 5. Okay.
Yeah.
If in this particular n plus 1 case, it will loop until the value of n only. I will be equals to n is the last condition. Okay, so shall we look at the solution of it? Okay. Shall we look at the solution?
Yes, please.
It will be obviously sum of the factorial of first and natural numbers. I'll explain why. Okay. So we have for I in range of 1 to n plus 1, right? Okay. Forget about the outer loop. Forget about the outer loop. Okay. We have this b equals to 1, right? We have b equals to 1. For j in range of 1 to I plus 1, we are doing b equals to b star j, right? So basically initially j will be equals to 1, b is anyway 1. So b will be equals to 1. And after the j will be equals to 2, so b will be equals to 2. Okay, after the j will be equals to 3, so b will be equals to 2 into 3. Next it will be into 4, into 5, into 6, and so on, I, right? And so on, I. So basically b is equals to j factorial, not j factorial, I factorial. Okay, b is equals to I factorial at the end of this for loop. Is it clear what I was talking about?
Yeah.
Is this
Yes, sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So basically, b is equals to I factorial at the end of this inner for loop, right? And what we are doing is we are equating a equals to a plus b, right? So basically, a is equals to a plus I factorial. A is equals to a plus I factorial, and I will range from 1 to n plus 1, right? So basically, b value will become 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial, and so on, n factorial. Okay, n factorial. So a will become 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial plus and so on, n factorial, right? So basically it is a sum of the factorial of first and natural numbers, right? Okay, clear?
Sir, I didn't get sir. I didn't get one thing, sir. Here,
Yeah.
this what will be the j when I equal to n?
What will be the j when I equals to n? When I equals to n, j will range from 1 to n plus 1, right? J will range from 1 to n plus 1. So basically, b will become n factorial.
Sir, what will be j when I equal to n?
Yeah, when I equals to n, j will range from 1 to n plus 1, right? So j initially it will take 1, after that 2, 3, and so on. At the end it will take n.
Okay. So so why it is not j in the range of 1 to n, and why it is I plus 1?
Okay, so if you are just taking for j in range of 1 to n or n plus 1, right? 1 to n plus 1. So basically what it will become, each time b will become n factorial, right? Irrespective of what the value of I is. You get what I was saying?
Okay, yeah, I got you. Huh.
Okay. So basically it will become n times n factorial. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. A will become n times n factorial. Since b is equal to n factorial, since we are like keep on adding it to a will become n times n factorial. It won't become the sum of factorial of first and natural numbers. Okay. Okay. We go on to the next one. Yeah. Yeah. Any question? Okay. So this break is, okay, we are coming here for while loop. Okay. I'll explain the while loop. While loop is the same as same as like how you have seen in the remaining programming languages, right? We have a condition here. The condition itself we have mentioned true, right? We have mentioned true. So basically in this particular scenario, what happens is we'll keep on running it. This while loop will keep on running until we break the for loop. So until there is a statement called break, this will keep on running because we have mentioned here true directly. We have mentioned it. We have mentioned it true directly. So basically, this while loop will keep on running. Will keep on running until this break statement is executed. Okay. What does this break do? Break can be used in for loop as well as while loop. Okay. Break like whichever loop it is in, it breaks out of that loop. Okay, at that particular condition, it breaks out of that loop. Is this clear? The break. Let us just say, okay, we have here, right, for I in range of 1 to n plus 1, for j in range of 1 to I plus 1. Let me just say when I equals to 2, break here inside this for loop. So basically b will become only 2 factorial. It won't become more than that, because whenever we are coming across this j equals to 2, right, we are breaking out of this loop. Okay, clear?
Yes.
What does break do? Okay, we'll discuss more on this once you have started, once you solve this. Okay, this is one of the trickiest problems. Okay, the code blocks runs without throwing an error and terminates. And terminates means it did not run infinitely. It did not run infinitely. Test stopped. Test stopped. So basically, the while loop got broken. Okay, this break statement got executed. Okay, it got terminated after accepting 10 inputs. Only after accepting 10 inputs only, it got terminated. Okay, assume that all the questions that follow are independent of each other. If b is equal to 200, what could have been the values of 10 inputs entered by the user? Yeah, look at it. When we mention like 10 inputs, so basically we are coming over here. We're coming over here. So basically this statement got executed 10 times. So then only we can ask for 10 inputs from the user, right? Okay. And this what does int of input means is, if you remember, input is always a string. We need to convert that to an integer. Okay, we have converted the input to an integer. Okay. Try to answer this problem.
Means 1.1 means it's 1.
What?
If the input
if
is 1.
If the input is 1.1, it will be 1 you are asking.
Yes.
No, it will throw an error.
Okay.
So basically the input should be only an integer, like 1 0 1 1 1 0 0, like that. Okay. If it is a float, then like if it is 1.1 or like that, you should first convert that to a float. You should first convert that to a float. After converting it to a float, you can convert that to an integer. Okay.
Okay. If input is 10, 10.
If it is 1 0, then it is int, right? You can directly use like int of input. Okay.
Okay. Here x is less than 10.
Huh?
Here x is less than 10, sir.
Yeah. If x is less than 10, so yeah, like if x equals to 10, then it won't ask for input again.
Okay.
So
Okay,
does
that's the
that
problem.
mean the x will take only a value smaller than 10, and
No, it
else
need
if
not be like
it
that.
will
It need not be like
and
that. So, but what happens is, for input to be taken, x should be less than 10. You could see it that way. Okay.
okay.
See, if x is less than
But
10 only, we'll
if
ask for
we
input, right?
input the integer greater than 10, then it will go in the elif.
Yeah, it will check. It will check for elif. It will check for elif. Yes, and we won't ask for input again,
Okay.
because this if statement won't get executed, right? So we won't ask for another input from the user. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll take a 5 minutes break, and after that we'll resume the session. Okay. Meanwhile, if you want to solve, you can solve this problem. Okay. After 5 minutes, we look at the solution.
Sir, more than one option is correct in this, or only single option? Hello, sir.
More than one option is correct.
Yes, yes, more than
One or
one
more
answer
than
is correct. More than one answer is correct. Okay, so shall we look at the answers? Okay. The answers is 1 and 7. Okay, 1 and 7, because if the value is could have been, right, they have mentioned could have been. So if it is one, like we can still ask for one more input so that we can break. Okay, if it is 7, if the value of input is 7, since 7 is less than 10, we could still ask for one more input. Okay, but if the value is 200, let's say the value is 200. Okay, the if the value is 200, since 200 is not less than 10, this if block won't get executed. And if you come to elif, since b is 200, 200 is not less than 200, right? 200 is not less than 200, so basically this also won't get executed. Okay, this also won't get executed. Similarly, even for x equals to 40 also, we won't ask for one more input, and this elif block also won't get executed. So we'll keep on running infinitely. When c equal like when the x is 20 and when x is 40, we keep on running infinitely. Okay, since they have mentioned that it got terminated. Okay, it got terminated. The input is not 200 or 40. Yeah, the input, like, yes, the when x equals to 201 only, it will terminate. So as they mentioned that it got terminated after accepting 10 inputs, it basically means the 10th input is 201. Okay, is this clear?
So it means the elif block will always be the value of 201 only.
Like, basically the elif block will get executed when x equals to 201, because you see b is 200, b plus 2 is 202. It should be in between 200 and 202, and it should be an integer, right? The only
Yes.
option we have is 201.
Okay.
Right? Is
Yes.
this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll move ahead.
Why this question is asking that, also telling that it has a, but a is not in this code block. A and b are integers. The first statement it is written.
Okay, that's a typo. Okay, a is not there. Okay. Similarly here also, like the question number. In the question number 8 also, you need not consider the a, consider only b. B is an integer, okay, that I have already been, you can assume that. Okay, if b equals to 100, what is the maximum possible value that the user could have entered among the first 9 inputs? Among the first 9 inputs, not the first 10 inputs. The code got terminated after accepting 10 inputs. Okay, if b equals to 100, what is the maximum possible value that user could have entered for the first 9 inputs? First 9. Remember this, first 9. Okay. The answer is straightforward.
Put negative integer.
Hello, can you be a bit louder?
So user can also enter the negative integers, right?
Negative, yeah, negative, yes. Negative, yeah. But they're asking for maximum possible value, right? Okay. Negative also they can enter. Negative is also an integer. Okay, and negative value will be less than 10. So the loop will continue. It will keep on asking for input. So that's not a problem. Yeah, negative we can enter. Okay. This problem should be easier. So I'll give you like 2 minutes. You solve for it.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
The question is, what is the maximum possible value that the user could have entered?
Right.
The
Yeah.
loop breaks only if it is one. The loop breaks only if it is 101, because greater than x is greater than 100, it still will work. Sorry, x is greater than 100, it still will work. X is less than 102, it still will work. Is my understanding correct, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, your understanding is correct. But the thing is, the code terminated after accepting 10 inputs. They're asking the first 9 inputs, not the first 10 inputs. First 9 inputs only. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Got it. Sorry. Yes.
Sir, here I have one question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, why it is why while statement is required? If we start directly from if statement, the understanding the code will be the output will be the same, isn't it? Like why it
No.
is required while true statement?
See the see if we have if statement, right? Whatever loop we will have, that will get executed only once, right? But let's say we want to run this loop like continuously. We want to run this loop like continuously. Then what do? We can't use if, right? Okay, we need to use while loop or for loop.
But sir, we have continue here, so it won't continue if we don't have, suppose if we don't have while true statement, we have
See,
continue in the bottom.
When they mention here continue, the continue means okay, continue to the next iteration. Next iteration matlab like next like run this same block again. Okay, like don't execute the remaining statements. Go to this first line again. That's what continue means. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Inside the while loop or for loop, right? Or let's say even in the if block also, you have, let's say, like 100 lines. Okay, you have 100 lines. But after the second line, like let's say if a particular condition is satisfied, I need not look at the next lines itself. Okay, I can go to the next iteration. Okay, or next I value, next character, whichever it is, right? Then I can use this continue. Okay. Okay, so the answer for this is, we look at the answers. The answer for this is 9. Yeah, most of you have got it correct. 8 plus n. This is interesting. Okay, for the person who entered 101, your 101 is correct if it is been 10 inputs. Okay, since they mentioned only the 9 inputs, the answer should be 9. Okay, because among the first 9 inputs, our code did not terminate, right? Our code did not terminate, because if it did not terminate, then basically it means our input value is not 101. Okay, but at the 10th input, our like the user entered value is 101. That's why it got terminated. Okay, clear? Okay.
But sir, it is not mentioned that a user has input the numbers serially from 0 to 1, 0 to 9. Why not
No.
100 then?
Yeah, it could have been 1 to, like we never mentioned that we have entered it like serially. All we are asking is all the previous questions answers. What could be the maximum value that the user could have entered? Maximum could have entered. Could have. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
The code runs without throwing error and terminates after accepting 10 inputs, all of which are integers from the
I'm sorry,
that
can you
follow
repeat?
independent of each other. What is the value of B if the final input entered by the user is $100?
Do not read the statement aloud, or if you're reading the statement aloud, please mute yourself. Okay.
X present and X in.
Okay. What is the value of B if the final input entered by the user is 100? Okay. This is like the opposite of it. Using the value of b, we found the x value. Now using the value of x value, we need to find the value of b. Okay.
Is the $100 a formatting issue or what is it?
Actually, the $100, you need not worry about it. You can just think of it as like 100. Okay. This is a LaTeX one, so you do not worry about it. Okay, it is just 100. The value entered by the user is 100, not $100. Okay, it is only 100. Okay. Yeah, that is a LaTeX math.
Is that actually the it's not the string, right? It's an integer 100.
Yeah, it is an integer 100. It is an integer 100. So basically,
Okay,
what the
okay.
user entered is 100. 100 is a string only, but it will get converted to an integer, which then becomes 100 integer. Okay.
Okay, sir, no problem.
GM book.
What can I repeat? Okay. So we look at the answers. The answer should be 99. Yeah, and most of you got it correct. Since the value entered by the user is 100, right? So basically, on this 100, b should be less than 100, but greater than, yeah, b is less than 100, and 100 is less than b plus 2, right? So basically, the only way possible is when b is equals to 99. Okay. Is this clear?
Yeah.
This is the reverse of it. Reverse of what we have seen until now. Okay. Here we are looking at a different concept. I'll explain this. Yeah.
L equals to 1.
Okay. So
L
others, mute yourself, please.
greater than or equals to
Okay. So when I talked about lists, right? Like the elements within the square brackets, like the elements which are separated by comma and they have the square brackets at the end, like they form a list. Okay. That is how that is the representation of a list. Okay. And you can access an element. You can access an element by using an index. So basically, this L of 0, it gives the first element 1. Okay, 1. And L of minus 1 means the last element. The last element 10. Okay. So Python allows you to directly get the elements from the back also. Like L of minus 1 gives the last element 10. L of minus 2 gives the last but one element 9. Okay. L of minus 2 gives the third element from the last. Okay. So there is this negative indexing also is possible in Python. Okay. This might not be possible in other languages, but in Python it is possible. Okay. That is the first thing you need to know. And this one is L of 1 to L equals to L of 1 to the this one, right? This is called as slicing. I'll explain what slicing is. Slicing means that, let's just say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on 10, right? 10, right? I want a list that does not contain the that does not contain first element. Okay, first element. The way you do it is you have it like L of 1 to the remaining. L of 1 to remaining. Okay, this we share my screen, the different screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
So I hope the font size is okay. L equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's assume it like this. Okay. L is a list. L is a list, and the elements of a list are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And now let us just say I want a list. I want a list, but then I don't want all the elements of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I want only specific elements. Specific elements like within a range. Like the way you do it is you can slice it. Like the way of doing slicing is you have this starting index and ending index. Okay, I'll mention what the values of a year. Okay, so let me print this.
Shouldn't it be 3? B value of B is 3. Your list is.
Yeah. The thing is, even here also the last index won't be considered.
Okay.
The last index won't be considered. So if you mention 3, right? If you mention 3, then this will only give 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay.
You will run your code like until 3. So it has given me 1, 2, 3. If you see here. Okay. And that is a starting index. A will be considered, but the B won't be considered. Okay. Only until B minus 1 only it will be considered. Okay.
So indexing starts with 0 to n. Is that the way we can actually say it?
Yeah. So if you want all the elements, right, then it should be from 0 to n. So here the n is 4. So yeah, it should be 0 to 4. Okay. Or else the way you get the length of the list is you do this len of L. Okay. Len of L gives the length of the list. Okay. When you're doing the 0 to length of L, that means that you are including all the elements, right? But let's just say I do not want all the elements. I want like from the first element, from the second element I want. Okay. The second element index is 1, right?
Yeah.
So I'll start from 1 until the length of L you can have, or else you can leave that as blank, right? When you leave that as blank, the Python knows that okay, you're referring until the end of the list. Okay, so this will give me 2, 3, 4. Okay, this will
If it
give
is
me 2,
minus
3,
1.
4. And
So
let's
can you
just
please
say
tell -1 also?
you have it like 3 here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you have it like 3 here. Okay, so basically this third index won't be considered. So it will go until like
2, 3.
Yeah, until it go until this second index only. So 2, 3. The 0th index anyway is not considered because we started with 1. Okay, and then it will go until 2. So it will only include L of 1 and L of 2. Okay, so now this gives me 2, 3. Okay, so when I equate L equals to L of 1 to nothing. Okay, let me just keep it this way. So what we are basically doing is we are eliminating the first element. We are removing the first element from the list. Okay. Now the L list will be equals to just 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is one way of removing the element, removing the first element. Similarly, you can remove the last element also. That is, you can remove this element 4. Okay. That is by mentioning this index. Okay, -1. As I told, the last index won't be considered, right? So this -1 element won't be included. Okay. So it will just give me 1, 2, 3. All right. I hope this is clear.
Yeah, I just have a doubt. When you put L equal to L of 1 is 2, then it means that it will include, it should, okay, include from 2, 3, 4. Okay, not include 0. Okay, sorry.
It won't include the 0th index element.
Okay.
And sir, instead of -1, if I write -2, then will it be like 1 and 2 only?
Yeah.
Sir, one if we put minus instead of -2, we put 0. What why we don't get anything?
It will give an empty list.
Yeah, why we get empty here?
Why is it empty? Why is it empty? See, because when we mention opposite, like after the colon, when we mention 0, that means we are saying the last index is 0, right? The last index possible for the list is 0, right? Right? And the thing is 0 index should not be included. 0 index should not be included. And there is no other elements before to the 0th index, right? Okay. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. See, if you mention it like this, if you have it like this, then it will include the first element. Okay. That is, it will include this 0th index element. Okay. But then if you mention 0 itself, then basically you're saying not include any element, right?
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Okay. So now start answering this question. They're asking, will this code run without an error for this particular list? Yeah. When will the code run? When will the code throw an error is when we're doing this indexing, right? This is called indexing. That is when you call a specific element based on index, that is called indexing, and this is called slicing. Okay. So if that index is not present in the list, then it will throw this error. Okay. Then it will throw the error. All right.
Okay.
Based on this, you should answer like whether this code will throw an error or not. Okay, so shall we look at the answer? Okay. It will run without an error. Okay. So the answer is yes. The reason is the index here. Okay. It will when like since the length of L is greater than or equals to, as long as the length of L is greater than or equals to L of 0, L of minus 1 will still be there. That is the first element and the last element, it will still be there. Okay. And L equals to L of 1 to the later means, that is, we are asking to remove the first element, right? Since the length is like greater than or equals to 2, it can remove the first element, right? And it can also remove the last element. Okay. So this one thrown error, but let's just say you have this greater than or equals to 1 or like greater than or equals 0, right? Then it might throw an error. Okay. Clear?
So the error would be in the last line, right?
Yeah. It could be there in this line also. Okay.
So suppose length of L is greater than or equal to 1, right? So the list becomes of size 2, right? S is equal to is still valid.
Yeah, wait. Let me share my screen and I'll explain using different examples. Okay, different values of L.
Okay.
Okay, we have this.
I mean, if the list is even numbered, then it will be error at line number 7. If it is odd numbered, then 6.
Let me have it like greater than or equal to 0. Okay.
It won't.
Huh?
It greater than 0. Sorry.
Okay. If I have it like greater than 0, in our particular scenario, it will still run without an error because n is even. Okay. I will explain that why. Okay. You could see here, right? There is no error. Okay. But let me have it like this. Let me have it like this. The error will appear at line number 7. Okay, the line number 7. Okay. Should those error. Okay. Like let's say we have it like greater than or equal to 0. Okay, when we have like greater than or equal to 0, then we'll be having this error. Yeah. So we have this error here because we are asking for an element which was not there. We are asking for an element which was not there. Okay, because like when we have it like greater than or equal to 0, the length of L, it could be 0 also, right? It could be 0
So there
also.
is no -1 element or there is no 0 element. Which one is that?
There's no 0 element. When we
Either
have this,
is not there, right?
when
Even
we
in
have
a
one,
list of size
we have
1,
only one element. Yeah.
0 and -1 are the same element.
Yeah. When we have length equals to 1, right? Then 0 and 1 are both the same.
So
Okay.
that is not accepted, is it?
Yeah. So what we could do is would print L. Okay. And then we could check. Okay. Just before throwing an arrow, it will print L, right? Yeah, I could see it here also. Okay. Until we have 5, did not throw an arrow. Only when we came to this empty list, right? Only when we came to this empty list, it has thrown an error. Okay.
Sorry, again, which one is the empty list in this whole thing? It is.
Okay, wait. Yeah, let me just remove all this. I'm just printing it on the like while we enter the while loop, I'm printing L. Okay.
Okay.
So now you could see here when we entered 5, like when the element is 5, it did not throw an error. Okay, did not throw an error. But when the list is empty, it has thrown an error. Okay, because we are trying to access an element which was not there in the list. Okay, which was not there in the list. All right.
So what I want to ask is the code while length is greater than or equal to 0, that means it is starting at L value or what is the variable here? Variable is length of L. Length of L is 10.
Yeah.
So while 10 is greater than or equal to 0, it should keep running, isn't it?
Yeah. So here what we are doing is we are adding the first element and the last element, and we are removing those elements.
Sorry, slicing is happening. Sorry, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, the slicing is happening. We are removing the first element here and we are removing the last element here. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Yeah, and just for you to clarify, I'll remove this. I'll remove that line. Okay. And now let me run. Okay. See, now it was running without an arrow. Okay. Because the slicing does not throw an arrow. The only this index while we are like trying to index, right? Like while you are trying to ask for an element which was not there, then only it will be throwing an error. Okay. Clear?
Yep.
Okay.
Why is slicing not throwing an error? I didn't get that. For an empty list?
Because we are only asking for the elements like within that list, right? If the elements are there, then it will give. If the elements itself is not there, right? If the index itself is not there, then there are no elements to slice, so that it will give an empty list.
Okay, got it.
Okay, we'll move on to the next problem. Yeah, it's the same one, but then here we are asking for the value of s. Okay, at the end of execution. Okay. Should be an easy problem.
Variables in the list. Excuse me. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
So the s value of s, it is asking, is it the last value of s or the after the execution? What will be the value of x?
The last value of s. So basically, like at the end of the execution, right? So which is basically means it is the last value of s, right?
Okay.
The last value. Once we come out of the while loop, what is the value of s?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, what's it all? Okay, so shall we look at the answer? Okay.
Yes.
It is nothing but the sum of these elements. Okay, sum of the first 10 elements. Okay. It will be what? 10 into 11 divided by 2, right? 55. Okay.
Sir, I have a
You have a query here?
here, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
If that while length is only greater than 2 and not
Yeah.
equal
If
to 2,
the
only then would it have been 44?
Yeah, it would be 44, correct. So this 5 and 6 won't be included. 5 and 6 won't be included, except the remaining will be included. So, yeah, so it will be 44, correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So this one is also the continuation of the previous one. Okay. Same problem. All we are asking is what is the value of L at the end of the execution of the code given above. This also should be easy, I guess. Should be an empty list, right? Because like each time will be removing 2 elements, okay? And when length of L is equal to 2, it will still go to the loop, and then we will remove the last 2 elements, right? So it will become an empty list, okay? So at the end of execution, the value of L will be an empty list, okay? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Could you repeat, sir? I don't understand, please.
What? The question you have? Yeah. So the split method, right?
Sir, I had a query in previous question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can we write this slicing in one line? Like after S, can we write L equal to L is 1, 1 to 1 minus 1?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you could write that.
okay,
Yeah, you
okay.
could write that.
Thank you, sir. Okay, okay.
Sir, just one question. What was the answer of question number 11?
Question number 11. So that is the sum of the
Yes.
those values. 120.
Final value of S. Yeah.
55.
55. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So the split method, what it does is, it takes a string, and based on this value given there, it will split the string into a list. Okay. I'll explain this by writing a code. Hello. Yeah. So let me just say I have a string s equals to hello world. Okay. hello world. Yeah, that is my string, and I want to make a list out of it. What I do is s dot split comma. Okay, sorry, not comma, space. Okay, so it looks for the space in the string. Okay, it looks for the space in the string, and then whenever it comes across a space, right? So it will just split it, and then like it'll make it as like small chunks of elements. Okay, so here hello will be one element and bold will be other element. I'll print it. Okay, print that particular one. Okay, yeah, as you could see here, I have hello as the first element and bold as the second element, and that space was gone. Okay, and that space was gone. Let's just say I have one more thing. Hello world. I am I am Ram or something. Okay, I am Ram. So now it will be hello will be one element, world will be one element, I is one element, am is one element, and Ram is one element. Okay, so now it will be now I will have like 5 elements. Hello world, I am Ram. Okay, so this is how split works. By default, if you do not mention anything here, it will still split by space because that was the default argument. Okay, but if you have anything else other than that, then you need to mention, like, let's say here comma. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So now let's just say you want to split it based on comma, right? Now it will again give us same one because whatever words I need to split into, the separator is this comma. Okay, and let's just say okay, okay, you have it like this. Okay, I do not have a space. I do not have a space in the string, but I still mentioned space as the argument with which we need to split. Okay. Now what happens is it will just written as one big element. Like it will just give that string as an element of the list. That's it. Okay. So in this particular scenario, the list will have only one element, which is that entire string itself. Okay.
I have
Clear?
a query here, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, why it is printing in the format of a list? Is L not a variable here? Like, why it is printing in the format of a list?
Why it is like this s dot split, it returns a list. It returns a
Okay.
list.
Okay, so if I put any variable other than L, it will be in the format of list only. Suppose if we
Yeah.
put L equal to T.
You want to mention this t equals to s dot split, right? Yeah. So see, that is just a variable name. That L is just a variable name. Okay. So it will still have this. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And yeah. See that L does not mean like list. Okay. Okay. So even if I mention T, I'll still have the same thing. Okay. Yeah. Now let's come back to this problem. Okay. Yeah. We have this P as this is a chair. The statement is true. P split equals to P dot split of comma. So basically this will give a list. Okay. This list will be this is a chair. This is the first element. E is the second element. A is third element. Chair is the fourth element. Okay. Q dot split. R equals to empty list. We had append. Okay. So I did not talk about append here. Append basically means we'll add that particular element to this list R. Okay. So basically we'll keep on adding this word, right? Word will keep on adding to R. Okay. That's what append does. It'll add the element in the back of the list. Okay. Clear? Append what it does. For those of you who are not aware of this append, I'll explain that here. Let's just say I have a list. I have an empty list here. Okay. I have an empty list here, and then what I'll do is I'll do L dot append 1. Now I'll print L. It contains the element 1. Okay. Now I'll again append another element 2. Again I'll print L. So now I have appended 2 elements, right? So basically L will become 1, 2. Okay. Clear what does append do? For word in P split, if word not in Q split, then ordered append a word. Okay. This should be an easier one. Okay, shall we look at the answer for it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
The answer should be H here, right? Yeah, because those are the only 2 words which are not there in Q. This is there, is there, but A is not there, chair is not there. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You look at the last problem. This is going to be slightly tougher. L is an M cross M matrix of numbers that has already been defined and populated. Wish to find the sum of the elements in each column and store all of the column sums in a list called column sum. Okay. Yeah. So until now, what we talked about is before we move on to answer that question, we'll discuss this one particular thing. Okay. We can represent a matrix. We can represent a matrix using a list. Okay. I'll let you know how. Until now, what you have seen is you have seen that list contains like 1, 2, 3, or like hello world or something like that, right? But the element of a list can also be a list. That is to contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So basically this L is a list which has 3 elements, and each element of the list is again a list. Okay. Okay. Is this clear what I was talking about? Yes. Okay. So this is how you represent a matrix. This is how you represent a matrix. So this is a first row. 1, 2, 3 is a first row. 4, 5, 6 is second row. 7, 8, 9 is the third row. So like you can think it of like this way. You can think of it like this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 7, 8, 9. Okay, like when you print L of 0, right? When you print L of 0, it will give you 1, 2, 3. Let me just do that. Okay, it has given me 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then this 1, 2, 3 is a row. Okay, it's not a column. If you are looking for a first column, it is 1, 4, 7. It is 1, 4, 7. The way you get a column is you do it like L of 0 of 0, comma L of 1 of 0, or L of 2 of 0. I will explain this indexing also. Okay, so this is how you got 1, 4, 7. Okay, the indexing, how it works is, how do you index a matrix? You index it something like A of I of j, right? A of I of j, right? So I is this row, and j is the column. The same thing here. The same thing here. This 0 is the row, and the next 0 corresponds to the column. Okay. Okay. We are able to do that here. We are able to do this because L of 0 is again a list, right? L of 0 is again a list. We will be able to index the elements of that particular list, right? So I'm asking for the first element in the L of 0 list. Okay. This is how you get the values of the list. Okay. Is this clear what I was talking about?
So what is second 0? L of 0, 0.
See, L of 0 is 1 to 3, right?
Yes.
L of 0 is 1 to 3, right? What is L of
Yes.
0 of 0? Within L of 0, we are asking for the first element. So which is basically this one. Okay?
Yes. Right.
And like it is kind of like a list only. You forget about, you consider L of 0 as some P, okay? L of 0 is, okay, let me just show it like this.
Got it, sir.
L of 0 equals to 1 to 3, right? You consider that as P, okay?
Okay.
And ask for L of 0,
1.
all we are asking for is, yeah, you could consider this as like P of 0 or something, where P is equals to 1 to 3. So which will basically give me 1, right?
Yes.
Okay. Similarly, L of 1 of 0, what does it ask for? We are asking 4, 5, 6. L of 1 is 4, 5, 6.
Yes.
And L of 1 of 0, it will give me the first element in the 4, 5, 6 list, right? Okay.
Okay.
Clear? Okay.
Yes.
So this is clear, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So based on this knowledge, you should be able to do the column sum. Like, I won't say it's easy, it's slightly difficult, especially if you're like very new to this Python and programming. Okay, it's like very difficult, but still you guys could try. Okay. And the way is, and the like, what I mean to say is, when you there are two types of sums, right? There are two types of sums, that is column sum and row sum. When you are asking for column sum, all you need to do is you need to add 1 plus 2 plus 3. Right? That is the first row sum. The second row sum will be 4, 5, 6. The third row sum is 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. But then if you are asking for column sum, then you need to add 1 plus 4 plus 7. Okay, that is the first column sum. Okay, clear? The column sum and the row sum.
Yes.
You could see it here, right? 1, 2, 3 is the first row.
Yes.
The first row sum is 1 plus 2 plus 3. But the column sum is 1 plus 4 plus 7. Right? That is the first column
Yes.
sum. Second column sum is 2 plus 5 plus 8. Third column sum is 3 plus 6 plus 9. Okay? So
Yes.
now using the indexing as well as for loop, you should be able to do this all sum. Okay? I mean, I won't say you should be able to. You try to do this. Okay. And to complicate it, you have like 5 options and it is an MSQ. Okay. So even if you are able to get like one correct option, that is totally okay. Okay.
If one is correct, one is wrong. Complete answer is wrong, sir.
Yeah. So the way MSQ works is, do not select the wrong option. Okay, if you're not sure of it. Even if you select like one correct option out of 2, you'll still get half of the marks. Okay. So do not lose marks.
Sir, are there any these kind of questions in paper?
What?
Question like
Will there
14.
be? Yeah, there could be like 1 or 2 questions, but this will be like very rare. Okay. But major questions will be like the previous question.
Okay. The difficulty level is same.
And the different level is more or less same.
Will there be any questions on the syntax of Python or something?
Syntax?
Like simple questions like what does this syntax mean, or what does it do, or something like that?
No.
Thank
Like you won't just ask like what does this syntax mean? No. But we'll ask indirectly the syntax questions like if you look at the slicing and all, right?
Yeah.
Slicing and indexing, based on those, we could ask some questions.
Okay.
But we won't directly ask like, okay, what does this mean?
Okay. Thank you.
Will we get any question from like libraries, Python libraries, math?
No.
Because in
No.
video lectures it was shown math library was shown Factorial and was.
That comes under the later weeks. As I told, you just look at the weekly content until week 5, until week 5, week 6. Yeah, until week 6. Until week 6, that should be good enough. Okay. Do not go further.
Even for data
At least
science.
for the diploma paper, you need not go further.
So
Data
weeklies
science.
are sufficient?
What?
You're talking about data science, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about this diploma qualifier exam.
Are the videos sufficient to clear this?
Yeah. So the first 6-7 weeks are sufficient. Not the 5 weeks, but first 6-7 weeks are sufficient.
I mean to say there are 2 diploma, right? Programming and data science. So for data science students, up to week 6 is fine.
No, but for both week 6 is fine. For the entry purpose, for the qualifying purpose, this week 6 is fine. Okay.
Excuse me, are you saying just a week 6 or up to week 6?
Up to week 6. Up to week 6. Not just week 6. Up to week 6.
So, we need more questions like this.
Can you repeat?
No, we need more questions like this.
All the three subjects.
You want to have more questions?
Sir, will this video will be available in YouTube?
I think so, yeah.
So these questions can we get in PDF format?
It was already there. It was already there in the portal, is what I heard.
These are from sample papers.
Yeah,
Mock
from a
test.
sample paper only this was there, right? So yeah, I mean, if you still want, we could give it as a PDF. That's not an issue.
We need new questions, sir.
So, is it possible to get some sample questions shared across with us?
Sample questions means these questions, right? You're talking about?
Yeah.
More than this, if there are possibilities.
Yes,
if you have
previous years as well.
Okay.
You have a mail IDs. If it is possible to share the link or maybe a PDF copies, whatever is feasible at your end, we'll be grateful.
Yeah. So we will share you some extra questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
and you'll be sending them to the email list, or will you be posting them somewhere?
see, you are able to access the portal now, right?
Which
Like
portal,
how are you
please?
accessing the contents of Python?
I guess we've been shared link of all YouTube channels only. We really don't know which portal are you talking about.
Okay. Yeah, then what we'll do is we'll send you a mail or something. Okay.
Yeah, we
That'll
are
be-
from a
that'll be
diploma.
fine.
Like I am trying to get into diploma program.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk to the support team and then like we'll make sure that you get the data. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be shared across a mail. Will be much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
just a
for
small-
stats as well, we missed. Like we forgot to ask him, the instructor,
Actually,
to send us.
stats and maths,
Stats, there
they
is
said
one more
they would
session.
send us the email circulation list, but the emails have not come. So I'm wondering if that is possible or
Yeah,
not.
for all of the subject, Python, stat, and maths and English. Can you please send us previous years or any practice papers or questions?
Okay. We'll do.
Mr.
Thank
Ram,
you.
one more question. I heard you saying that these such videos are available on the YouTube, but I'm so sorry I couldn't find the statistics or mathematics previous sessions on the YouTube. If it is possible for you to share the link through support team or somebody.
The previous videos.
Yeah, today is the last session, I guess. Previously, like
Yeah.
yesterday and day before yesterday, there were statistics and mathematics sessions, right? So I missed one full and one half.
Are on mail, sir. The
Like-
videos links are on mail.
Yeah. I'm not aware of like who should access it, but
Computational thinking are also there in the exam.
computational thinking, like if they mentioned you like in the mail that computational thinking is there, then it will be there. Okay, I'm not entirely aware of it.
No, computational thinking will not be there, no?
Okay, let us look at this particular problem. Okay, solution. Yeah, most of you are done correct. Okay. So,
But the stat recording was not there on YouTube. It's not there. We couldn't find it.
If it is possible for someone who in this group who has the access of that link, if you can share, it will be great help.
yeah. Let us look at this 14th question first. Okay. All right. The first one is what they're trying to do is they created the call sum, okay, which is okay. Empty list. M equals to length of L. M is nothing but the length of L gives the number of rows. Row comma call equals 0, comma 0. While call is less than M, which is basically means that while call is less than the number of rows, call sum dot append 0. We are appending 0. Okay. While row is less than M, call sum equals call plus call sum of call equals plus equals to L of row of call. Row plus equals to 1. Yeah. So here like here we just keeping the column constant and we are updating the row plus equals to 1. Yeah, but the problem here is in the option is we are updating the row which is great, but we are not updating the column, like we are not updating the call value. Okay, we are not updating the call value. Okay, so basically this loop will run like infinitely. Okay, since we are not updating call value will always be equal 0 and it will always be less than M. Okay, so the option B will run infinitely. Okay, that is why option A is wrong. So let's look at option B. Option B, what do? Okay, option B, call sum equals to is entirely same thing. While call is less than M, call sum dot append of 0. That is also okay. While row is less than M, call sum of call plus.
I have a query here.
Yeah.
Sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, what will be the first statement after while call sum dot append 0? What will it do?
It will append 0 value at the to this call sum value.
Call sum. So we can write call sum equal to okay.
Like we are appending the 0, right? So basically, how many like whatever is the length of the row, right? That many times we'll be appending 0. So basically, we need to have that many call sum values, right? Okay, because we have that many columns, no? We have n columns, right? So we need to have that m call sum elements. Okay. That is why each time while we are looping it, we'll append the call sum dot append of 0. We'll do this. Okay.
Sorry, once again, can you repeat what happens by using call sum append 0?
So like, wait. I just
Call
copy
sum is
this.
a list, and every time at the start of each loop, if I append a 0, does it mean that I'm actually appending the first element of call sum? I mean, what exactly am I doing here? When I say append, it's not a list.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Wait, let me just share it in the VS Code and I'll explain. Okay. Okay. Let's just say my L is simple one, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Yeah. So initially call sum equals 0, not 0, empty list. M equals length of L, which basically means M equals to 3.
Correct.
M equals 3, row equals 0 and column equals 0. Call equals 0, right? While
Yeah.
call is less than M, call sum dot append of 0. Let me just remove this. Okay. And I'll print call well. I'll print call. Okay. Not call sum. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically this call sum, it will have 0. It will have 3 zeros. It will have 3 zeros because while we are appending call value, this call is less than, while call is less than 3, it will keep on appending 0, right? So when call equals to 0, it will append. When call equals to 1, it will append 0. When call equals to 2, it will append. Okay, after that it will stop. Okay. So it will basically have
whatever
like,
is in the brackets is the element that will be appended, is it?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now let us look at the inside value. Okay.
Yeah.
While row is less than M. Okay. That's what we had. While row is less than M, call sum of 5. Not I. Of call. Okay. So basically we are referring to this particular index. We are referring to this particular call index. Okay.
Yeah.
Call plus equals to L of row of call. Okay, this was mentioned, right? This is what was given, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There was a problem here. This is second option, right? This is second option now. The problem was, first thing is we should be incrementing the value of row each time, because first the row should be equal to 0, after it 1, 2, right? Correct? For each call value, we should iterate over like different rows and then keep on appending the value, right? So we should increment the row value, and also we should have the starting value of row, right?
Yeah.
So that is why we should have row equals 0. I know that we have initialized row equals 0 here, but the problem is we should do it for each time we are asking for this call sum of call, because each time we are computing this call sum now, call sum of different call value, we need to start with the row equals 0. Okay. Otherwise what happens is
the last value of row will be taken. Okay.
Yeah. The last value of row will be taken. Okay. Clear? This is the correct thing. Okay. So let us look at which one is same as this. Okay. The option B is wrong because we did not initialize row to 0. Okay. Option C, we have row we have initialized to 0. Call sum dot append of 0, that is okay. This is also okay. Yeah, option C is correct. Okay. Option C is correct because we initialize row to 0, and while row is less than M, we are like appending the cell of row of call. Okay. If you look at option D, for j in range of M, val equals 0. For I in range of M, val equals to val of j of phi. So here it should be val of I of j. It should be I of j. It should not be j of I, because if you're having j of I, right? If you're having j of I, right? So it will be row sum. It won't be column sum. Like you can look at it. You can look at this option D. This will be row sum. It won't be column sum. The opposite of it is true. Okay. Clear?
Yep.
So that's it. I mean, these are the 14 questions which we have. Okay. So what I would say is most of you have done well. Okay. Look at even more of like the basic lists. Dictionaries we did not cover much here. Look at the dictionaries also, and some functions if you could like basic syntax of function, not like too much of it. Basic syntax of functions. If you could look at it, that'd be good. Okay. Clear?
So can you explain the while loop, how the while loop exactly works here?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir,
Okay,
you
we
said,
have this.
sir,
Yeah.
you said other than this, certain functions have to be looked into, is it?
Yeah, other than this, we have functions. Okay. While a is less than 10, I'm just doing some simple while loop. Okay. So what happens is in while loop, okay, we have a condition. As long as that condition is true, the while loop, like whatever statements we have like within the while loop, that will get executed. Okay. Once it is false, it will come out of the while loop. Okay. So what I'm doing is, while a is less than 10, it will work out, right? I have initialized a to 0. So until a is less than 10, this while loop will run. Okay. Once a is like greater than or equal to 10, then it will stop, right? Okay. So let me just execute this. Yeah. So we have this initially a equals 0, that was there, that was printed to the console. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, 8, 9. Okay, until a equals 9, this was run. Okay, but once a has become 10, since 10 is not less than 10, this while loop will get broken. Okay, like it'll come out of the while loop. Okay, this is like one way. Like we increment the value. Okay, and then we break it. The other way is you have like let's just say while true, I'll ask for a equals to input. If a equals to Python break. So what it was doing is while true, right? So basically the statement is itself is we are mentioning it directly true only. So this while loop will keep on running until it breaks, until this line number 5 is executed. This while loop will keep on running infinitely, right? And each time it is running, it will ask for input. And
Okay,
when that
so
input
this,
is,
okay,
yeah,
sorry. So this while loop will end if we type Python only.
yeah.
Other than it will run
It will-
infinitely.
yes.
Okay.
So let me execute this. Okay, it is asking me for input. I'll mention India. It did not get like it is still asking me for input. I'll just give some random values. Okay. It'll keep on asking me. Okay. So I ask enter 1, 2, 3, 4. It will still enter. So, but if I enter Python, sorry, the Python spelling is wrong. Okay. Once I entered Python, the while loop has stopped. Okay. All right.
So when do we use continue?
When do we use continue? Okay. So
Sir, I have a
let's just,
query here. Sir, before you start for continue, sir, I have a query in this while only.
yeah.
That sir, in the videos it was said that while is used for infinite iterations. When you don't know the number of iterations, we use while loop. But in previous like code you wrote while a is less than 10. But here we know that it is a finite loop that it will run till 10. So
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
we can use for also here.
Yeah. Yeah. We can use for also.
Okay, sir.
We can use for also. Yeah. Actually, it's better to use for that. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So the other student, they were asking one doubt, right? I forgot.
So
Like,
can you
Yes, sir.
explain
When
for
do we
prime
use
numbers?
continue?
yeah. Wait.
Hello.
Wait. Like I forgot the previous doubt.
So when do we use continue? Continue.
Okay. Yeah. When do we use continue? Okay. Let's say like. While true, if I still ask for input or something, a equals to input, equals to input. Okay. I'll ask for int of input. Like I'll assume that the user will enter the integer values. So I do this if a percentage 2 equals to 0. Like a percentage means remainder with respect to 2. Okay. A remainder with respect to 2, if it is 0, which basically means it is a even number. Okay. I'll hit on continue, else I'll print a. Okay. I'll print a. Okay. I'll print a and just say if a percentage 10 equals to 0, I'll break. Like I just given some condition. Okay. So if you look at it here, or let's not use 10, 99. Okay. So now whenever this a percentage 2 equals 0, it won't even check for this. It won't even run this. Okay. Just to make sure that, I mean, just to tell you that all the other statements won't get executed, I'm printing this hello, because this print hello, it does not require like any if condition or like else condition. Okay. Normally itself, the while loop is getting executed like until the end of the while loop statements, then this print hello should get executed, right? But then since continue is there, it won't get executed. I'll show you that. Okay. It is asking me for input. If I enter 2, that hello was not there. You could see, since I entered 2, it has again asked me input, because it again went to this line number 3. Okay. If I enter 3, it is printing hello.
Okay.
Okay. Like we use continue when we do not want to like go over through the remaining lines of the while loop, for loop, or like whichever loop it is. Okay.
Okay, sir.
What does percentage here mean?
Percentage is the remainder. Like what is the remainder when a is divided by 2?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Like basically, if it is an even number, the remainder will be 0, right?
Yeah.
If it is not an even number, then it will be 1. Okay. 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 So that's it. Thanks everyone. Okay.
Thank you very
Sir,
much.
question please. Hello.
Yeah. This will be the last
Sir,
question, and after
yeah,
that we'll stop.
yeah.
Huh.
Sir, you told us that the topics from the programming Python playlist that is on video YouTube only till 6th week the topics will come, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 6th week end is Pandas series data frame and more.
No.
So, sir, actually there is not written anywhere that this is week first, second, third. So please clarify it.
Okay, so can you do one thing? Can you share me the playlist link now? The chat box?
Yeah. 1 second. On chat box, yeah. 1 second.
The number of questions is 10 to 15.
95 lectures were there, sir.
Okay, yeah. I will just tell you like until what weeks you should concentrate. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. If you could just send that playlist link,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
I'll tell you. Okay. That was a playlist link, is it? So we have could look at until 67.
Until 67. Okay. Thank you, sir.
There were a total of 75 videos, right?
95.
95?
Yeah.
Could see only 75?
75 actually. So as per the syllabus given, it's 75.
Yeah, 75, correct. But you could just look at until 67. Okay.
So basically excluding recursion and all these things, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
And I had one query. So the questions will be like this, or do we have to do any programming in console?
No. The questions will be like this. It will be MSQ, MCQ, native. Okay. You need not code. Okay. You just need to look at code and then like select the answer. Okay.
How many MSK questions, sir?
Thank you.
Specific number I don't have. Okay, but you'll have like 10 to 15 of total questions. Okay. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you
sir.
very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Mr. Ram, one last question, please.
Yes, Manish.
Mr.
Yes.
Ram, can I ask one last question, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's little difficult for me to go through all the 67 because I've not started. Can you please highlight me which one videos can I go through to get it passed, please?
So
Yeah, just to pass, which all modules can I have?
Yeah, got it. So just to get the pass mark, right?
Yeah.
You could watch until 49, I guess. Okay. Watch until 49. And one more thing, just look at the basic syntax of function. That's it. Okay. Look at the syntax of functions. All right. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Okay. Have a good day.
Okay, boss. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.